to Shooting the Shit with Coach Derek podcast. I'm your host, Coach Derek, brought to you by CrossFit MABA Lab. Today we're going to talk about the mindset behind day-to-day training, and how to keep on it, how to judge your day-to-day training, how to attack everyday training, also competitions. So let's just jump right into it. I get a lot of questions from members asking about, how do you train when you feel like, how do you train every day when you don't feel like doing it? And it's simple, man. It comes down to discipline. Motivation is never going to last you. You may be motivated one day out of the year. I haven't been motivated in years. This is just something that I do every day. My workouts are part of my day-to-day routine, and they're just one more thing in the day that I need to check off my list, so that I make sure that, I did everything for that day. And hate to break it to most of you, but especially you adults, especially adults with kids and careers and things like that, 99% of our day-to-day training and comp prep and whatever the hell it is you may be, the day-to-day grind, 99% of it is mental. Your body is ultimately going to do what your mind tells it. So the mental aspect of the game is the entire aspect of the game. What are you putting in your mouth for that day? Are you getting enough rest? Everything is in your brain. Everything is in your head. Your body's going to do what it tells. Whether your body can give 50% for that day or 100% for that day, your body's going to give every ounce that your mind tells it to give for that day. I see a lot of people get in their heads if they miss lifts or if they're just not having a good day, they feel sluggish. Their favorite training partner isn't in the gym. They're getting ready for a competition and, they feel like their movement standards suck, or they can't hit these movements, or their gymnastics or this or that. And, they're watching videos of other people and seeing how good everybody else is and they suck. And you gotta wipe that shit off, man. You can only control what you can do. It's fun to watch videos of other people do things, just for motivation, but understand that most of the time when you see videos of fucking people and they have these cool cameras and these cool microphones and they're fucking shredded and, they're bicep curling 100 pounds, or they're fucking running a, 4.340 on the track, or catching a football, or running routes, or, doing butterfly pull-ups or muscle ups or fucking 400-pound snatches. And everything looks great and the video's professional and they have all this sponsored gear on. Understand you're probably seeing fucking 10%, 10 seconds of the best that they had to offer. And they probably filmed that scene 50 fucking times. And it wasn't a part of their workout, most likely. They probably warmed up specifically for that and put together whatever the hell it may have been. They did it to look good for the things they're trying to sell, whether it's their sponsored gear for their apparel or whatever the hell it may be, supplements. Maybe they just wanted to look good, but you're only seeing about 10 seconds of their best. Most people don't post their worst. They don't really need to, but everybody wants to look good. But understand that social media is mental warfare, man. If you're getting ready for a competition and you're looking at the people you're competing with, this is another thing that I see with people is like, if we have a competition coming up or something and they start looking at the other competitors and they see them, oh well, they can. Specifically, I had a competitor last year sometime. They were getting ready for a competition and she was upset because she couldn't hit butterfly pull-ups, and she was struggling with it, and she was struggling with kipping pull-ups, and and she's like, well, I was looking at so and so's videos, and they're over there doing 10, 15, 20 butterfly pull-ups, and I can't even do a basic kipping pull-up, and I suck, and I don't even know why I'm even doing this competition. And I'm like, stop her, hold it right there. So I promise you, in this competition, she is not going to look like that. She isn't going to be putting together all those crazy movements that you see. She's not going to look that good. She's going to be tired. She's going to be nervous. I said, understand that, like, the nerves that you feel for that day, the nerves you feel now, every single competitor feels that way. I've done a lot of high-level sports, and the nerves are always there, whether or not, you can harness those nerves and act different. People act with that emotion differently. If I'm nervous, I still act the same, but I'm still nervous. Some people, they let the nerves eat them up and they fall apart, and their performance struggles because of it. And um, some people, like perfect example, Michael Jordan. I'm sure he was nervous as shit before every damn game, but he's over here playing with the flu and throwing up 80 points and all this. Kobe Bryant, same thing. Every athlete feels the same day-to-day struggle on their grind. Every athlete has bad days more often than not. Every athlete, no matter how high level or how new or low level they are, every athlete feels nerves the same. It's just the athletes on the other side, they just know how to harness those nerves and not let it control them. I've been nervous before every competition I've ever had, but most people don't notice because I know how to control it. At the end of the day, it's just a competition, man. If you're gonna fail in a movement, then get it back on the next one. And the good thing about CrossFit is when you do a competition, you have multiple workouts. You can redeem yourself on the next one. You know what I mean? And if you can't, who cares? You're still out there competing. You're still out there learning things about yourself. Bring your notebook, write things down, write down how you feel, because you can always compete again. And that's the beauty part about competing. You have to learn and take things away from competition to help yourself grow throughout the process. Um, um, the funny thing is, though, too, is when we got to that competition, the specific female that this girl was talking about that was banging out all these butterfly pull-ups and looking awesome on the videos, she got to the competition and she didn't even finish that workout. She fell apart. She couldn't even do one butterfly pull-up, and she couldn't even complete a pull-up. And I thought it was hilarious because not in that girl, not to that girl. You feel for people when they can't hit reps because they can, but just in the moment you're tired. Muscles shut down. You have no control over how you feel physically for that competition day. But I felt for the girl, but I thought about what we had talked about in training and how I told her that social media and videos were bullshit, and I was right. And the girl couldn't even do a pull up. She didn't finish the workout, and I leaned over to my client after she was done with her competition. And I said, dude, you beat her. She didn't even do one pull up. You know what I mean? And you were stressing this entire fucking month off of one person who had a cool 10-second video that you thought that you were going to suck because of that. Like, your pull-ups still sucked, but you did them. She couldn't do one because her body failed because she probably went out too hot and burnt out. So if she was able to control those nerves more and not go out so hot and understand, what she was doing, she wouldn't have burnt out. But she let the emotions get the best of her, and she probably went out too hot, and she had too much lactic acid built up in the muscles, and she couldn't activate the muscles to do pull-ups, much less butterfly pull-ups like her video showed. And I laughed at her, and the rest of the day it was like she had no more pressure on her. She's like, oh my God, she conquered the beast of like, oh, my pull-ups or whatever. But you need to understand that, like, you're worried about this much. You're worried about something that's this small, on a scale of something that's this small. We're talking about a competition, and we're talking about life. You're going to learn so much from this little competition, whether you pass or fail, or you do shitty or good, whatever it may be. There's no losing. There's winning or learning a lesson, okay? So you're going to learn so many lessons through this little ass, competition that's going to last you a lifetime. Think about that, okay? So whether you're having a good day, a bad day, you're in a competition, you can't get a fucking clean and jerk over your head that everybody else is getting. You're going to be frustrated, and that's okay, but understand that doesn't define you as an athlete. Jordan had plenty of shitty games. I'm sure Rich Froning had plenty of shitty training sessions. I'm sure Deion Sanders had a good amount of shitty training sessions. And, one game, one bad practice, one bad day at the gym, one bad day, whatever, one bad day at the office, it doesn't define your career. It doesn't define you. It doesn't define the work that you put in. Just understand that some days you just don't have it. I had a day like this morning. I had to do snatches, building up to 90% of my one rep, and I got to about 70% and felt like shit and couldn't get my timing down. Couldn't get the bar up. Failed it about 6 times. I just knew that I know that that's not going to define me. I had to harness that frustration because I wanted to go heavy today and I couldn't. I deloaded the bar to a lighter weight and I worked on mechanics. And I felt better knowing that I was doing it properly and correct and hitting depth and locking out and doing all that shit. I felt like my mechanics got better today. You know, my muscle memory, my central nervous system, my mind, everything improved. I may not have gotten to the weight that I wanted to, but I improved my mechanics for the day. And, you know, and then after that, I did some back squats. My back squats also felt like shit. So I went probably 35% lighter, focused on depth, focused on breathing, focused on all the little things that we don't think about. We all want the cool video where we lift heavy or we do some cool shit. That day's not going to happen when you want it to happen. Those days just kind of happen. I can tell within like 5 minutes of my warm up if it's going to be a good training session, you know, or a training session that's going to be pretty shitty. Not shitty, but you know, I can tell within about 5 minutes of my warm up how my body feels and how I feel mentally, if I'm going to be able to push it that day or not. Every time I've hit a PR at anything, especially in CrossFit, it's just been on accident. I just let it happen. I don't chase it. You know, I watch all the cool videos and shit, but I know as an athlete and a competitor that, you know, I know what I'm watching, you know, but I watch it for entertainment. And I know what I'm capable of. And some days I'm not capable of that. There's been competitions where I prepared my ass off and felt great, came in great shape, fucking, you know, shredded and mentally felt good. And as soon as I started warming up, my body just shut down and I could feel it. And I'd be like, oh shit. And I'd, you know, try to psych myself out. And some days you just don't have it. And it would be the worst performance of my life. Some days I'd get shitty sleep, shitty training, you know, show up and start warming up and I feel great. And then I go in PR or I, you know, go fucking PR 5K or a 10K or a Spartan race or fucking, you know, PR lift. Those days are going to come and you really can't gauge it. You know, you see it all the time with athletes, you know, when they have a bad performance. I felt like something was off today. You know, I felt like, you know, the training's been good, preparation's been good. I just wasn't able to deliver. You're never going to be able to control how you feel that day of either the competition or the workout or what. You know, people have workouts on the week. You know, they say, you know, oh, well, Thursday we've got 1 rep max deadlifts. Oh, yeah. So they're ready for it all week. And then Thursday comes and they feel like shit and they fail over and over and over again. And then, you know, they let it break them. You know, I've seen so many times where people come in with, you know, giant egos. And that's what you really have to get under check is your ego and understand that, you know, things aren't going to happen just because you want them to happen. You know, get rid of the fucking ego and just understand that you're a human being and you're not going to have a great day every day. You know, I've seen a lot of people come and go through every gym I've been to, whether it be jiu-jitsu, MMA, boxing, fucking CrossFit, just everywhere in every aspect of everything. They come in, you know, acting confident and, you know, they have a shitty training session or a shitty practice or a shitty play or a shitty game and they don't show up ever again. They let that one little ass moment that means nothing, you know, later on in life define, you know, what it is they're trying to do, whether it's, you know, training or athletics, whatever the hell it may be. But specifically, I'll talk about the gym because I see it all the time. People come in with big egos and they think they have to perform a certain way. They put too much pressure on themselves. They have a shitty day. And then they say, oh, I'm done. I suck. Everybody else can do muscle ups, but I can't do muscle ups. But normally I can do 10 muscle ups unbroken. But, you know, I can't do muscle ups and they can, and I suck and I'm embarrassed. Shut the fuck up. Get over it. Get over your ego. Like, you can't do 10 today. You can't do 1 today. Come back and train tomorrow. Maybe next week we'll have muscle ups again, or maybe next week we'll do something else. You can always redeem yourself. And that's the great thing about, you know, the day-to-day grind of anything, whether it's anything you compete in, whether it's working out, whether it's your life, you know, working, fucking whatever it is you do, competition. Check the ego, man. Check the ego out the door, and just do what you can do. Like I said, don't let one bad training session or one bad movement or one bad competition scare you away from doing what you love. Because at the end of the day, we all love it. It's a love-hate relationship. You know, I love fitness. Some days, most days, I hate it. And some days, you know, I feel great and I love it. But I love it either way. You know what I mean? But it's a mental game. It's a mind fuck. Every day is mental, man. Again, I'll refer to myself. Most days I have to wake up early to get a training session in. I don't want to get out of bed. It's warm. I feel good. I don't want to go outside and be cold and sweat. And I have to. Because whether it's a good training session or a bad training session, it's still exercise. It still makes me feel good at the end of the day. And conquering that beast first thing in the morning gives me confidence to finish the rest of the check marks on the rest of my day. Whether it be taking my kids to school or, taking them to the park or, helping out around the house or this or that. Like, it all starts with that morning workout or waking up, at 3:30 in the morning to go coach when I'm tired and I don't want to. So, getting to the gym and running my sessions, at 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. and, trying to fit my training in around it. Like, it's all about building confidence. And you may feel like shit in the moment of whatever it is, but understand it's only a moment and you're going to have good days too. But you have to check the ego and understand that this is how you feel today. Your 100% might be 40% today. Give me 100% of 40%. That's all I ask for. And check your fucking attitude. Don't get upset. It's okay to be down, but don't let it fuck the rest of your day up. Okay? Do it. Feel good about it. Go on about the rest of your day. And if you dwell on it too long, it's gonna fucking ruin you. Show up tomorrow, do the same thing. Show up the next day, do the same thing. It's all up here. Your body is gonna do what your mind tells it. Like I said, whether your 100% is 40% for that day, or it's 100% for that day, you're not in control of that. Okay, you're not in control of that. So check the ego and just show up.